Who's how? Rams how? You know who we rollin' with. Golden Rams Buzz Podcast. Hit like, share, and link. Who's how? Rams how? You know who we rollin' with. Golden Rams Buzz Podcast. Home of the champions. Who's how? Rams how? You know who we rollin' with. Golden Rams Buzz Podcast. Hit like, share, and link. Who's how? Rams how? You know who we rollin' with. Golden Rams Buzz Podcast. Home of the champions. When I need a scoop on the league, I hit up the dream team. Golden Rams Buzz Podcast.
Welcome to episode 3 of the Golden Rams Buzz Podcast with Chris, Damon, and Sal. Fellas, before we get started on the game, we have special guests joining us today. Podcast sponsor and tailgate sponsor of Brea Bakery Bread will be coming here doing a demo. And we also have special guests from RWO and the Road Warriors, Patrick Robles, as well as David Macias joining us as guests today. So give them
awesome,
a round of applause.
I heard.
Oh, man. well, fellas. The Niners, big bad Niners came into SoFi and thought they were going to push around, the young, upcoming, rebuilding Rams. But it actually didn't go down like that. We were hanging with them toe-to-toe, blow-to-blow. And then this happened. Kyron Williams, interception. That play, I think, set the tone for the game, and we ended up losing 30-23. Fellas, what's your thoughts on the game?
I'll go first. I disagree with what he said. The tip pass, what changed the momentum of the game? Halftime. Going into halftime, I said if they score before halftime, they're going to get the momentum because the Rams had the ball coming in the second half. If we stop them, the whole dynamic changes. They march down the field. There's 1 second left on the clock. They go for it, score, 17-17.
Yeah.
Second half, then that happens. But if you stop them in halftime before that, it starts, the whole dynamic, to me, the whole game changes with that march down the field.
Yeah, for me, it was pretty much what I thought it'd be. Everything the Rams were doing in training camp, they were able to do against the Niners. Think about it, the last 2 games, the first 2 games of the season, these are playoff teams. Everybody's talking about 49ers winning the division, Seattle being a playoff team, and yet the Rams pretty much they dominated Seahawks, and also the Niner game. The Rams,
I agree.
The Rams actually set the tempo. We outgained them in almost every stat. The Rams had that game. I knew that the Rams are a young team, so I knew you couldn't. The margin for error was really small, and once those 2 turnovers that cost the Rams, but. I'm sure, like a lot of Ram fans, although the Rams lost, I didn't feel like it was a loss. We lost, but we also sent a message. No, because I know what he's going to say, but I don't believe in moral victories. But this was it was a statement by the Rams. The 49ers and their fans, they know they came into SoFi. They thought they were going to push the Rams around. All I wanted to see was that the Rams were going to be able to match up and be just as physical as the 49ers, which they did. You didn't hear Bosa's name called. Right. The Rams were able to keep Matthew Stafford, upright. Yep. We had our opportunities, but, the Rams could clean that up. And the next game in San Francisco, I believe the Rams win that game.
What about moral victories? I'm not a moral victory.
I hate that term, moral victory.
I agree.
I think people who come from losing organizations use that term.
Right.
Because
I agree.
when you play sport, you're there to win. Because moral victory doesn't show in the standings. The first place team right now are the Niners, which are 2-0. It doesn't say 1-1 moral victory Rams.
Yeah, there's no column that says MV.
There's no such thing.
There's not.
A lot of Rams fans are excited. I said, well, we still lost because we lost the other 8 times in a row.
Right.
Nobody said we had a moral victory.
Exactly.
We lost 8 times in a row. But they're like, no, because these rookies. No,
because the reason why is moral victories are good for young teams. For a young team, this is something for the Rams to build on. The Rams could say, you know what, we played 2 playoff teams. Puka Nacua dominated those defenses. They didn't have an answer for him, and that's without Kupp. Everyone said that we were going to be done without Kupp. Now you have Puka Nacua. Wait till Cooper Kupp returns, and then you have Tutu Atwell. The Rams' offense is right where it needs to be. Stafford's one of the top quarterbacks as far as passing yards. You look at the receiving yards. Our offensive line's holding up. We're only going to get better. So when you have a young team, you need these victories like this. Even though they lost, it's still a victory because you're going to build on that. If the Rams and 49ers were evenly matched, then and you lose, then that would be a moral victory that I wouldn't agree with. But this time I do, because the Rams needed to send a message, and they did. They sent a message not only to the 49ers but to the rest of the NFL that the Rams are here. You know, they're going to compete for the NFC West.
Do you think Aaron Donald's in the locker room saying, "Hey guys, we had a good moral victory today"? I don't think.
No.
I think that's just some fans are like, and I'm just like, you guys are leaving SoFi happy? Our rivals beat us 9 times in a row, regular season, of course, NFC Championship.
Right,
game.
but see, the funny thing for Ram fans is it's called loser's delight. They keep going back to that, how many times we lost to the Niners.
Right.
That's in the past, too.
Yes.
So that really doesn't matter. To me, I don't care how many regular season, at times we lose. I mean, of course, you want to beat every
Yes,
team.
yes.
But I think this isn't the same Rams. This isn't the same Rams team. Last year, the Rams, 22 injured players. That's one of the reasons why the Rams had a bad season. It wasn't we were a bad team. And so the 49ers, they have to be impressed. They won't say it publicly, but to go into SoFi and really take away that, like I said, those 2 picks and then that run by McCaffrey. The Rams pretty much had it bottled up, throughout the game.
I feel like an LA team. I just have high expectations.
Right. Well, so do we, right?
Lakers never say the moral victory went to NFC. No, you play with the Lakers, you expect high expectations.
Right, but you're talking about championship teams.
Yeah, the Rams won a championship 2 years ago.
No. But the Rams were supposed to be one of the worst teams in the NFL.
That's what they said. That's what the critics said. I never said that.
No,
either.
but
somebody said that.
I said that.
Yeah, he said
but
that.
we're a young team.
Yeah.
We're a young. Come on now. 14
understand.
draft picks made the Rams roster.
Yeah.
We don't have any. We only have like 3 or 4 pillar players that we built on. Compared to the 49ers that are really, they've been Super Bowl ready for the past 3-4 years. So it will come back to, it'll come back to serve the Rams well. By the next time we play, the cohesiveness, the offensive line, the Rams will be a better team when they play in San Francisco than they are now.
I said this, to me, each 4 games are a quarter.
Yeah.
4 games, quarter. 17 games, another 17. I said the first 4 games, the Rams are going to go 3-1. I wanted 3-1 or 4-0. Obviously, I wanted 4-0.
Right.
3-1. Oh my God! For a team,
You'd be ecstatic,
me as a Rams fan, I never said. You heard me what I said. 10 victories.
Right.
I just have high expectations,
Yeah.
and I want to beat the Niners because I'm like, dude. I'm like, no, Rams, we play good. I'm like, yeah, 14. But these rookies know. They play to win too. They're not high-fiving each other. They're not probably saying, yeah, guys, no, man. Sean McVay wants to beat his counterpart so bad. By the way, I went to the press conference after to hear him talk and Matthew Stafford talk. I heard him in his eyes, he loved the team, but I could, he's like, these 2, he even said the same thing I did. 2 plays changed the whole aspect.
Exactly.
He wasn't saying more victory. He's like, no, we had, you know what I'm saying? The victory was ours. But that's how you feel.
But when you're building a young team, you have to build on, you have to stack, blocks on little success. Right now, the Rams are playing hard. They're going to get better. But everyone's acting like the Rams are a playoff team. The Rams are eventually going to be a playoff team. I say all the time, greatest show on turf wasn't greatest show on turf as the season started. You get better and better. And so same thing wait till we haven't seen, wait till Puka and Cooper Kupp play together. There's no team is going to be able to, who are you going to double? And also, Kyron Williams coming out of the backfield. You still got Tyler Higbee. The Rams have the weapons now. And I don't see any team in the NFC West that's going to be able to compete with the Rams offensively.
We're missing one player we're not naming. The one that everybody hated. Tutu Atwell. Come on.
Yeah, he's the good.
I never hated
Who is that guy?
I never hated. I was always a big Tutu fan. That's why I said.
Man,
that's why I said. What? I was glad that the Rams were patient with him.
Yeah.
A lot of fans. The sad part about Tutu Atwell was everybody kept comparing him to Tavon Austin. I'm like, just because he may be the same size and stature, he's a different player, and he is a different player. Yeah. And sometimes, a lot of times when you have players, if you don't utilize the player right, it doesn't matter how good the player is. You have to know how to utilize the talent. And I wouldn't be surprised when the Rams trade Cam Akers if he has success with another team.
Yeah.
Because you have to put him in the right situation. He's not in the right situation with the Rams. He's had some issues already. And the Rams are trying to all move in the same direction. You can't have any distraction. So if you're going to have someone who's not happy because he's not getting his playing time and stuff, you're going to have to let him go and get guys that are hungry.
We're going to go on to some other Rams news. Earlier in the week, it was reported that Stetson Bennett was placed on a non-football injuries list. So whatever Stetson Bennett is going through, thoughts and prayers to you, brother.
Yeah, definitely.
And then, all right, like you said, you mentioned Cam Akers. He's been a subject. He was deactivated before Sunday's game. Should we move on with Cam Akers and keep on? What do you guys think?
He seemed like a distraction. Last year is the same thing. Cam Akers missing games. What's going on? I don't know what him and McVay got going on. I don't know. But if it's time to move on and trade for him, you got to do that. Cleveland just had an injury.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nick Chubb. So they're probably looking at the running backs.
Green Bay, Detroit.
Yes. So like Sal mentioned, if he's a distraction to our team's moving in a certain direction.
Yeah, y'all got to be moving together.
You got to move together, man.
Yeah.
And if they can't find a trade partner, they're probably going to release them. So
And I
you may
knew-
not get nothing for
And
them.
I knew something was up. The Seattle game. Who had the ball by the goal line the most time?
Yeah.
Kyrie. Cam Akers wasn't in the goal
Right,
line.
but see, real quick, that's another funny thing because you remember when a lot of Ram fans were saying, why does Matthew Stafford always throw the ball to Cooper Kupp? He throws it to whoever's open.
Yeah.
Whoever gets open. And that's why you look at Puka. Puka's getting all the receptions. Because you know what? If you can't create separation and get open, you're not going to get the football. He goes through his progressions. But, you know, you look at guys like Van Jefferson, these guys have to get open. And if you're not open, you're going to get the ball to Puka.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Did any of us see Puka play in college?
I don't remember. I didn't watch BYU.
I didn't watch BYU. I watched Rice. I never heard of the guy. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
I never heard of the guy till the Rams drafted him.
He's a revelation.
Yeah. But it's kind of cool because everyone's like, hey, what's up with your team? You guys have players named Tutu and Puka. It's like, I go, you know what? They're both leading.
So speaking of
receptions.
Puka, he set the rookie record for most receptions.
Oh, that
in the
was
first
amazing.
First two games, 25 receptions, beating a 49ers guy named Earl Cooper
Yeah, I
from
remember-
1980.
yeah, I remember
Don't
that
remember
guy.
that guy. You remember Earl Cooper?
Yeah, I remember Earl
Was he a
Cooper.
decent guy?
He was, but he was kind of a flash in the pan. You never really heard too much
Yeah.
about him after that.
Well,
we
because a
wanna
guy
say-
named Jay Rice came.
Exactly. So Puka, thanks.
Who?
And then our supposed number one receiver when Cooper Kupp was placed on injured reserve was supposed to be Van Jefferson. Who only has 5 catches for 33 yards, guys. What do you guys? What's the future of Van Jefferson?
Well, you know, this is his contract year, so I really don't see the Rams retaining him.
Right.
But you know what? I tell people, it's like Allen Robinson all
Or
over
2.0,
again.
yeah.
He's the same type of situation. You know, you have to get open. Matthew Stafford, you know, you're limited when you drop back to pass. These guys have to find ways to get open. And right now, this was a perfect opportunity for him to establish himself. And so far in the past 2 games, he hasn't done much.
Regarding Matthew Stafford, he's only been sacked 1 time in 2
Yeah.
games. This offensive line is amazing. Avila.
Yeah, I give a lot of credit, though, to when you look at, you know, when the Rams brought over Mike LaFleur, you know, he had been with the 49ers. He wanted the Rams to be a lot more physical.
Right.
And I told people, watch, what the Rams are going to do, they're going to build that offensive line. And then you draft Steve Avila. That guy is killing it.
He's a beast.
He actually anchors that line, yeah.
And speaking
DeMar
of Steve-
LaFleur
okay,
said
okay.
that he's never seen a rookie like that.
So, guys, speaking of Steven Villa, there was a guy drafted 29 years ago,
Uh-oh.
2nd round. Where's the same number, too? Number 73. Do you guys know remember that guy is? And he reminds me of this player.
73?
He was number 73. He's a
Sal.
Hall of Famer.
Let me see a Sal.
He's
For the Rams?
No. No, just a player that was
Ryan
drafted.
Yeri?
No. He was drafted
no.
30 years ago.
Oh.
Larry Allen. He reminds me of Larry Allen.
Oh,
to
wow.
me.
Larry Allen?
And he was drafted
from the
in the sec-
Cowboys?
Yeah, he was drafted-
Sonoma State?
Yep, he was drafted in the 2nd round, too.
Damn.
He was Larry Allen was picked number 36. Steven Villa was number 46. What do you think? What's your take on it?
I mean, that's a pretty. You have to go way back, yeah. But that offensive line that the Cowboys had was amazing.
It was.
He's that type of player. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a mauler.
He is.
He's a mauler.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny because players like that, to be able to scout a guy like that dominates. You know, I mean, for a rookie to come in and be effective right away. I mean, the Rams have gone against 2 of the most feared pass rushes in the NFC, and the Rams have kept Stafford upright.
Speaking of Steven Villa, he's half black and Hispanic, so we want to say happy Hispanic Heritage Month and happy Mexican Independence Day.
Yeah.
Black, Hispanic. Okay.
So he gets to celebrate.
Okay, guys.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Joe
They
No-
like that too, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Joe
he liked
Noboom got injured, and then you got Tremaine Ankrum and Kevin. Was it Kevin Beckton or Dotson?
Yeah, no,
Kevin Dotson.
Yeah.
Are you guys comfortable with them, or would you pursue somebody like a Lyle Collins that's still out there?
Well, Noboom, he injured his shoulder, but he's supposed to be available against the Bengals. So it was like a contusion, bruise.
Yeah.
But he's supposed to be available. But I think for the Rams, the Rams are trying to develop that cohesiveness. You don't want to keep moving the roster, making roster
Right.
moves if you don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And I
agree
think a
with
lot
that.
of times when you bring in guys that started before, it's always
Yeah.
it's hard for them.
Egos.
Yeah, it's hard
Yeah.
for them to be backups. They don't want to be part of that. But the Rams have to establish this young offensive line, and then have players that can step in if they need it along the way.
So before we talk about the Cincinnati Bengals, Damon and are you going to interview your guest?
Yeah, interview.
Damon's going to interview our special guests, Patrick Robles and David Macias. So we'll see
Now,
you guys on it. Okay.
let me say something about these 2 Ram fans.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I've been a Ram fan for over 50 plus years.
Right.
Since 1969.
Okay.
These are 2 of the most dedicated, diehard Ram fans. I always respected them. Didn't know them really, really well, but I always knew them from afar. And those are 2 of the fans that I always respected. They always represented the Rams well when they're on the road. It's hard it takes a lot of dedication to be able to travel around
Right.
and represent the Rams. So
And these guys.
it's
gonna
awesome
tell
to
their
have.
story.
Yeah, it's awesome to have them
be
here.
back in
Both
the
of them.
field.
I
Let's tell
respect
the
that.
story.
Yeah, awesome.
My acting career is going down.
Welcome back, everybody. We got Brie, VP of Marketing for the Brea Bakery. And as you can see, she brought some goodies for everybody. And as you guys know, at the tailgate, the Brea Bakery bread was there because all you Niner fans took all my bread and those red shirts. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Who doesn't love good bread, right?
Yes.
Especially San Franciscans. But, so for those of you who don't know La Brea Bakery, we are born and bred here in Los Angeles. 35 years delivering artisan bread that really just elevates anything you do. So we have a line of fresh bread. So if you go in the store, like you typically would get in Europe, but you can get it here in your grocery stores. So you can just pick up a loaf or a baguette, especially when you're doing your tailgate needs. And then we also have a line of take and bake, which I'll go over a little bit later. So what I did today is really kind of show you how a good spread should look, because there's really two things that you need at a tailgate. One, thrilling action, because if it's not good or fun, then why would you be there?
True.
Thankfully, the Rams are kind of killing it this year, so we're happy. And then secondly, it's delicious food, and we know good food. So what we want to kind of show you guys or walk you through is how do you elevate your tailgate? How do you bring the good stuff so people want to keep coming back? So first, we have this amazing cheese board, grazing board, charcuterie board, whatever you want to call it. This really is my favorite part of any party, whether it's a tailgate or a holiday, because it gets to be uniquely you. You get to decide what you want, from the cheeses to the dips to the meats, but the one thing that really is important is the carrier that you're going to put all these unique creations for. So we have our La Brea Bakery breads here, which is our French baguette. It's the perfect platform to elevate your berry cheese goat cheese or your hummus or your fig sauce. And we also have over here a Kalamata olive bread, really that salty flavor you get from real Kalamata olives. You can see within the color. And then one of my favorites, the pecan raisin. I mean, when you look at this bread, you have the sweet, the savory. Smell that. Exactly. So it goes perfect. It goes perfect with any cheese. I actually like it with this espresso Belvatini. It's a very salty cheese with that kind of spicy espresso. And then the bread itself is very salty and sweet. So one of my favorite combinations here. But then we got to really move on to what is at every party you go to, dips. So again, think about how do you elevate that? We don't want to just bring the French onion dip. So what we did is we used our rosemary olive oil loaf, which is a little small round, kind of perfect for this. You can carve it out, hollow it out, mess free, just dump this stuff right in the middle. We actually did a jalapeno artichoke spinach dip, a little twist on what you normally do. Add that spice, add that sweet, that sweet and that savory. And then we use these beautiful crusted interiors that have this aromatic rosemary that bring out the flavor of the Parmesan, and a really soft crust from the olive oil that we infuse into it. Again, tying back to what I said early on, everything is super high quality. We use extra virgin olive oil. We're using real rosemary sprigs to just bring that flavor. And then last, something I like to talk about a lot is our breads kind of look like a football. So they're actually perfect when you think about putting together a football spread. So what we did here is we kind of cut it out, kind of really played on that feature of the bread. Hearty, crispy, and we made a Hatch green chili. So if anyone's been paying attention, Hatch is really everywhere. It's roasting season. We mixed in some rotisserie chicken, put it in the oven. You get this beautiful kind of crusty smell, these deep, rich flavors of the cheddar and the chicken. And then our bread, as you can see, has that beautiful crust. It's the perfect dip accompaniment to your spread. And then lastly, what's your favorite part of any tailgate spread?
Food.
Well, I mean, I would hope so.
Food, fun, the people. You got me hungry right now. I'm
So we're
ready to
here
eat
for.
something. Yes.
And so what we have is this kind of spin on a traditional brisket sandwich. So typically all tailgates have a grill, you're making meats, usually you got some hamburgers, you might have some brisket, but we don't want to do anything traditional, we don't want to do anything normal. So what we did was a spicy smokehouse brisket. So we used a smoky brisket that's been smoked for 18 hours. And what we did is we actually created this beautiful, I'll use it over here actually, to show you this spicy serrano jalapeno dip. And this bread is perfect. This is the take and bake bread. I love it because it's kind of the hero and a superstar for everything you're doing, because you can just take this bread, it's par baked, you buy it in these packages here, and they have these beautiful holes, so you can cut it up, put it on your grill, it gets toasted up, you get that crispy center, and then these little sauce pockets, like I like to call them, it's from the long fermentation, kind of catch all the interior kind of catches it so that when you bite into your sandwich, you get flavor throughout. And this is how we deliver an elevated tailgate.
Hold on. Try it right now.
Oh, you better. Nailed it.
Amazing. Once again, thank you to the podcast and tailgate sponsor, the Brea Bakery Bread, Taste and Bake, Stater Brothers, Albertsons, Vaughn's, all your retail stores out here. Thank you, Brie, for joining us. And
Of course.
she got gift bags for our audience, and thank you so much for showing up.
Of course. I hope you guys enjoy.
Thank you.
All right.
Joining me now, we got Patrick Robles and Dave Macias, RWO, and also Rams Road Warriors as well.
Yep.
Woo! Go ahead and introduce yourself. How long you been a Rams fan? Go ahead, Patrick. Tell us who you are. How long you been a Rams fan?
I've been a Rams fan since 1969. I grew up in Pomona and moved to San Diego in '77 to go to school. So it's kind of rough for me to leave the Rams, and I was surrounded by all these Charger fans. People asked me, how come you're a Rams fan? I said, I grew up with the Rams, so I'm not going to be switching teams. It's been since the back in the Fearsome Foursome days.
Okay.
Used to see them on black and white. Didn't really know what color the uniforms were back then. For a while, so it's been a lot of history, and it's been it's good to be a fan that long. You've seen them as like a very, very great teams, and then they have like their down periods, and people are freaking out that they lost a lot of their free agents from the Super Bowl year. But, I have confidence that they're going to be able to reload instead of rebuild. Keep it going.
And Dave, you? What made you a Rams fan? How long you been a Rams fan?
I've been a Rams fan since 1978. I became a Rams fan. Frank Corral. Frank Corral played for the Rams, and he's a family friend, and I became a fan because of him. And I just love the Rams growing up, and getting to go to the games at Anaheim Stadium and watching the Rams play, and going with my family and watching the Rams play, and then got married and got to take my kids and my wife to go watch the Rams play, and I just have love for the Rams. I love going on road trips. Me and Patrick, we do a lot of things, so just been a Rams fan for a long time.
And you guys are called the Road Warriors. Why are you guys called the Road Warriors? Explain that to people, why you guys are called the Rams Road Warriors. What does that mean? What do you guys get that name?
Well, it's just like another word for people that go on a lot of road trips.
Okay.
I've heard the term used before. If you're somebody that spends a lot of time going up to different places throughout the country, they let's call you like a road warrior, and people started calling us the road warriors.
Yeah.
So started making because I have Photoshop, and I do like a lot of Photoshop pictures, and so we were taking pictures of different people that go on road trips to the different locations, and making Photoshop pictures of us in different
going to different stadiums and adding our picture of it could be like the 49ers and our picture on top, or us going to the Steelers, and it's cold weather back there, so he photoshops us wearing a coat, a fur coat.
So let me get this right. You guys travel to both every Rams home and away game?
Yes.
Yeah, we're both season ticket.
Yes, we're season ticket holders.
What day do you guys leave? How do you guys get your tickets? Tell me the process of doing all that, because me, I only go to Rams home games I go to maybe Arizona, maybe Pitt. I don't go to explain that to the people. That's amazing to me.
I used to buy the road tickets right when the schedule came out on the third week of April, and David he his plan was to buy tickets late because a lot of times you'll find
You find a better deal on.
ticket prices were dropping as they got closer to game day. So I started adopting his plan, and since we go on a lot of road trips, you need to find ways to save money. So.
Yeah, because we went to the 49er game one year, and Patrick bought a $300 ticket that was way on top, and I waited maybe like 2 hours before the game started, and I got a ticket down in the end zone for $100.
Yeah, he was downloading the ticket at the tailgate.
Yeah.
So did you guys attend the NFC Championship game versus New Orleans?
Yes, I went to that one. I went to that game. It cost me $500 for the ticket. I was sitting 9 rows from the end zone where they kicked the winning field goal.
Wow. What was the best stadium you guys ever seen on the road? I mean, you've been to all the stadiums. What's the best road stadium you guys been to?
I like the Arizona stadium. It's pretty nice. It's all indoor. So like a lot of great places to eat. The variety of food inside the stadium is really good. The tailgating area, it's like all in the very far end of the parking lot. It's like a grass area. But it's the kind of like a dedicated area for all the tailgating. So all the boosted clubs are out
I've been there too.
Yeah,
Now, how long you guys been doing this Road Warriors traveling to Ray games?
I've been doing it since like 2013. I started off going to a couple games here and there, and when the last 2 years that the Rams were in St. Louis, we went to 2 games a year to go see the Rams play. When we seen them beat the Raiders 52-0, and that was like awesome. And so we would make it a trip once a year to go at least twice to St. Louis to go catch a Rams game out there. And going back to the stadiums that we like he said, Arizona. I like the Arizona stadium because that stadium inside you can walk around the whole stadium. There's some stadiums that you get cut off and you can't go on that section, but in the Arizona stadium you can walk around the whole thing and see a lot of stuff. You're not just stuck in one area. And the other stadium was the Steelers stadium because underneath the stadium of the Steelers, they have all their memorabilia of their old players that played, the old past players, the Hall of Famers. They have all their stuff underneath that stadium, and it's like a museum there that you can go down there and look at all that stuff down there that they got.
Are you guys going to the Monday night game against the Bengals?
Yes, we'll be there.
Can you guys bring me a program back, please? I want a program from Cincinnati because the Rams beat them in the Super Bowl. I got that program.
yeah.
I want them when
Sure.
the Rams beat them on Monday too.
Okay.
And a lot of games that we go to, we buy these game day pins. They sell the game day pins at the stadium at SoFi and at away games. So we collect a lot of game day pins from every stadium.
Okay, cool.
So
I need a game day pin, please.
Ta-
I'll see it. I want a game day pin. Hey, thank you guys for joining us.
yeah.
See you guys at the tailgate. Be safe travels. Thank you, Patrick Robles.
Yep.
Welcome back. La Brea Bakery as well as Charcuterie came through with the goodies, as you guys saw. We got cookies up in here. We got nuts. Man, big shout to
Damn, it's got nuts in it, Devon?
big shout to Charcuterie for doing this, as well as La Brea Bakery. Hey,
I'm allergic to nuts. Sorry.
well, thank you so much for. Man, we have some great guests. Did you guys? Oh man.
I want to take a special shout out to Patrick Robles and David Macias. Those are some dedicated fans. One day I want to be like you when I grow up. When I grow up, I want to be like you guys.
Travel
Okay,
everywhere. Damn.
On to week 3 and our next opponent, the Cincinnati Bengals. Now in the game against the Ravens last week, Joe Burrow got nicked up again, and it's doubtful he will play against the Rams. It looks like it's going to be quarterback Jake Browning. So, what do you guys give me your assessment of what I think this game is going to be?
I don't overlook anybody because once
Right.
sometimes the momentum. Oh, Joe Burrow's not playing. Okay, we can relax. You can never relax in the NFL.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this is Super Bowl rematch. Last time they played, and then the spring, in the summer. Remember, Aaron Donald ripped the helmet off.
Right.
So they're not our rivals, but we already know
But
they're going to be ready.
Yeah, especially as longtime Ram fans. I mean, throughout our history, a lot of times, going back even that Minnesota game, I'll never forget when Fran Tarkenton wasn't going to play.
Wait, wasn't Fran Tarkenton on That's Incredible?
Yeah, he was the host. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
But I remember they came out and usually the Rams would travel to Minnesota, play in bad weather, and it was
Omar
always
Rashad, right?
Yeah.
Bobby Moore was his
Chuck
name.
Foreman.
Yeah,
Bobby
yeah.
Moore was his name.
It was
back then.
crazy. Yeah, it was tough for the Rams. Chuck Foreman. I mean, they had a
Purple People Eaters.
yeah, they had a great team. But finally, the Rams had him out here, and so I was excited. Bob Lee was going to be the backup, and so I thought, oh, they're going to be in Southern California, a backup quarterback. We
Right.
got this. And it happened to rain that day.
Oh,
and
man.
Muddy.
The Rams moved the ball, but they couldn't get it in the end zone and ended up losing that playoff game. So,
Oh, man.
but there was also a lot of times at Anaheim Stadium where the backup would, compete and give the Rams a hard time. So I think for the Rams, they're going to prepare, for Burrow, and then whatever happens. But the Rams have to win this game too. But again, being a Rams fan, Rams winning this game. Well, you guys didn't beat Burrow. Burrow didn't play, so. It'll probably be at least 6 or 7 games before the Rams actually start getting the credit that they
But
deserve as a game.
NFL, any given Sunday, you play who's on the field. Like,
Right.
you
That's
can't
what I say,
say,
yeah.
so you play whoever's, if they start Joe Burrow with a bummed ankle, we beat him. Oh, bum it. So it doesn't matter. Like,
Well,
you
that's
gotta-
what I always say. Nobody felt sorry for the Rams when we had
Nobody does.
22 injured
Exactly,
players yesterday.
exactly.
Well,
Nobody-
last year, nobody said, hey, well, Stafford didn't play, or nobody
Yeah.
really cared,
record-
So,
a record-
for me, I don't feel sorry for any team either.
Yeah.
All right, so some week 2 games that we're going to highlight. You guys called it. I thought these guys were going to win, but the Bills blew out the Raiders 38-10. What's you guys take on that game?
Man, I don't need to take on anything. The Buffalo Bills blew them out. It's the Raiders next. Come on.
Oh,
no,
okay.
no need to talk about that. We all knew.
Okay.
Come on, Sal.
yeah,
the Raiders.
yeah.
Just like you know, with the Chargers next. We already, come on now.
Yeah.
Chargers lost to the Titans 27-24 in overtime. Do you guys think Brandon Staley's on the hot seat?
I do.
Yeah, he is.
Because what did I tell you guys? Chargers are going to do Charger things. I think they're the first team to score over 50 points the first 2 games. No turnover and be 0-2.
Well, I think for Brandon Staley, he's way over his head. I think because when the Rams signed him, he was a linebacker coach for
Right.
the Broncos, and he was under Fangio. So he was promoted from linebacker coach to the Rams defensive coordinator, and then to head coach. So I think that jump was too big. That leap was too big, and the Chargers are able to score offensively, but defensively they can't stop anyone, especially with the game on the line. But the best part about it is, everybody, all eyes were on the Chargers, and everyone's talking about a Super Bowl run, and yet the Rams are the best team in SoFi. Right. So we're not going away, and I think the Chargers are going to continue to struggle.
Seahawks spoiled Detroit Lions and home opener and Barry Sanders statue weekend, beating the Lions in overtime 37-31. What's you guys take on that game?
I mean, Seattle. I mean, they felt desperate. They had to win. They threw it. I didn't say the Rams just straight beat them, but Detroit hyped. Oh, Detroit!
Right.
Come on, it's Detroit Lions, man. Come on,
Yeah, Detroit Lions are they're improving, but I think a lot of that was predicated on not turning the ball over.
Right.
Jared Goff had that that pass that passing record for fewest. He had a streak going on for completions. Yeah, for completions, and then he threw a pick, and that pretty much cost him.
All right, speaking of statues, guys, what Rams player would you get the first statue if the Rams were to do like a Monument Park or like a LA Live, what the Lakers do?
A first statue?
Yes. Who would you get this first as for a Ram?
For me, I would probably say, it's so difficult because for the Rams, you would almost have to break it down to decades.
In generations, right?
Yeah, like for me, I mean, I love Matthew Stafford being the only LA Ram quarterback to win a Super Bowl for the Rams. But then again, I would want Jack Youngblood. But then Youngblood never won a Super Bowl.
Okay.
And then Eric Dickerson is still.
Right. That would be my pick.
Yeah.
As a Rams fan, I would want Eric Dickerson to be the first statue if they have like a monument park.
My first statue would be for the first black running back, Kenny, the Rams running back. That was an African American.
Washington? Yeah.
Kenny
Washington.
Washington. Yeah, because people don't know the history about him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's
Like
one of the
Jackie-
first.
yeah.
Like Jackie Robinson, Kenny Washington was one of the first African
Yeah,
American
the
running
Rams
backs.
were one of the
Yeah.
first teams to integrate. Yeah.
Integrated. So I would want to think of him, like, so talk about him and know the history about him and what he had to go through and being an African American player in the NFL or AFL, whatever, dealing with prejudice and all that stuff. So that'd be the first statue, in my opinion.
That's fair. That's cool. That's good. That's a
Well,
good
and I
choice.
think that would be probably. I think that would probably be the wisest choice. I think that makes more sense because he was so instrumental in the integrating of black players into the NFL.
Yeah.
So I think that that would make more sense. I think.
All right, Baker Mayfield's looked great. Got the Bucs to 2-0 as they defeated the Bears on Sunday. What you guys take on that game?
Baker Mayfield, I mean, doesn't he always kind of do this? Like, he's like, what do you call that? gunslingerish type of
Yeah.
person, but can he maintain it for 17 games?
That's the
Baker,
million-dollar question.
Baker Mayfield is Ryan Fitzpatrick without the beard.
Woo!
He's gonna
Wow.
he'll give you some games and he'll get you excited, but he'll break your heart when the game,
That's fair.
3rd and 9 with the game on the line, he's not gonna convert, Same, but you know what? But me, as a diehard Rams fan, I tell people, to me, Baker Mayfield is a Rams legend because he beat the Raiders. He beat the Raiders.
I'm thinking that.
He was only on the Rams team 2 games, and he killed the Raiders.
Yeah.
And didn't the Raiders also lose to Jeff Saturday?
Yeah.
Indianapolis coach straight from the
Yeah.
announcing booth.
So they lost to Jeff Saturday on a Sunday?
Yeah.
That was good. That was good.
Or even Monday, yeah.
Alrighty, guys, we're gonna go to some week 3 games that we're gonna highlight. Bills versus Commanders. That's a decent game. What do you guys got?
Bills.
Yeah, I got Bills.
Bills. I'm gonna go Commanders. Heavy
Really?
dose of Brian Robinson Jr. and I'm going to the Commanders in an upset. Got the battle of the Rams ex-assistants. Chargers versus Vikings. Who do you guys like?
No.
Vikings.
Yeah,
Wow.
Vikings.
Where are they
Vikings.
playing at?
It's in Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Chargers going to do Chargers thing. The score is going to be 27-26 Vikings. Last second field goal with 3 seconds to go because Brandon going to mess up on the timeouts.
Yeah. But all these Ram assistants, they do really well their first season.
Right.
But it seems like
Was Zach Taylor's kind of maintained it, would you say?
Yeah, he's great. He's good. Yeah.
Who's saying again?
Zach
Taylor.
Taylor for Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Yeah, but McVay is a mastermind.
Yes.
I see a lot of these guys. They try and implement the same type of vision, the same type of mentality. It works, but you have to have a strong supporting cast. And McVay is great in bringing in coaches that are able to pretty much coach the way he wants.
That's true.
But I see the all these teams that have former Ram coaches are starting to struggle. But
Green Bay's look decent. They're rebuilding.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they're rebuilding, but they lost Aaron Rodgers and got Jordan Love.
well, as long as they snap the ball to the right quarterback.
Yeah,
right?
exactly right.
I think on a quarterback sneak, you gotta have the football to score,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So you got Style Chargers Vikings.
I got a Charger. No, I got Vikings.
If Austin
You
Eckler
didn't say
plays, I got the
Chargers?
Chargers.
Yeah.
If Austin Eckler plays. All right, guys. So Sal, you might know this, but this was 1975. This would be a great game.
Okay.
Kenny Stabler versus Terry Bradshaw. But on Sunday night, we have the Raiders versus Steelers. Who do you got in that game?
Wow, that's gonna be great. I'm gonna go.
I think it's in Vegas.
It's in Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I hate to say, I'd say Raiders.
Raiders. I'm gonna say Steelers in an upset. Steelers gonna beat the Raiders at home.
How's that an upset? The Raiders are not good. How's
Oh,
that?
dang. Oh, sorry.
How's that an upset?
Okay. Maybe I
No,
misspoke.
dude. And you already know what's going to happen in Vegas. It's going to be 99.9% Pittsburgh fans
Yeah.
because they travel. And that's
They
only
do.
an hour. I mean, people in California,
Right.
people in Pittsburgh want to go to Vegas.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
they
not an
do,
upset.
yeah.
Pittsburgh's going to whip that. They're going to pick up the terrible towels on the Raiders. Pittsburgh 34-17 in Vegas.
And then on the first Monday night game, Eagles versus Bucks. What do you guys got?
Eagles.
It's going to be closer than what people think.
I agree.
Because the Eagles' defense hasn't been that good.
That is true.
But Jalen Hurts. You
Yeah,
know
but
what I
they'll
want?
get healthy against.
I got to go for the Eagles because you know what I want to
Mayfield.
happen? I want the Eagles to win every game coming to SoFi Stadium so the Rams can beat them. So let's go Eagles.
I'm going to go Eagles also. I'm going to say the score is going to be 35 to 24. Eagles. That's going to conclude week 3 of the week 2 or 3.
Week 3, but
Week
you forgot
three.
about, I mean, the Rams
Week 3.
the Rams and Bengals. They play that day too on
I thought we
Monday.
gave it. Okay. Rams and Bengals. It's going to be the Rams.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be the Rams 30 to 17 Rams.
I think it's going to be. I think probably I would say about. I'd say 37-14 Rams.
Okay.
42-14 Rams.
Woo!
I'm be looking for Patrick Robles and David Macias on TV.
Yeah.
Don't forget my programs.
Yeah.
Don't forget my pins. Don't forget my souvenirs. With that being said, whose house?
Rams.
Rams.
Whose house?
Rams house.
Yeah, baby. Go around Buzz Podcast. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, La Brea Bakery Bread. Thank you, Patrick.
Once again on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, please.
Thank you, David Macias. Thank you, Michelle Cootery, Michelle Ortiz. Woo!
Perfect.
It's good. Good.